Time having arrived, I call this regular meeting of the Brockton Housing Authority to order. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, May 25th, 2023, at the Mayor Bill Carpenter Executive Boardroom, 45 Gordon Road, Brockton, Mass. Please note that all Brockton Housing Authority meetings are recorded. The legislature, and Governor Maura Healey have extended the COVID-19 regulations to March of 2025. Chair is Timothy J. Sullivan, Vice Chair Ernest Pettifat, Member Janet R. Trask, Treasurer Carol Roberts. You are hereby given notice that the members of the Brockton Housing Authority are called to meet in the regular session on Thursday, May 25th, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the Mayor Bill Carpenter Executive Boardroom, Manning Tower, 45 Gordon Road, first floor, Brockton, Mass. 02301. This meeting / hearing of the Brockton Housing Authority will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting / hearing will not be suspended or terminated if the technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. The public is invited to view and/or listen to the meeting via phone, computer, laptop, or tablet. To do so, download the Zoom Cloud Meeting app at any app store or at www.zoom.us. At 4 p.m. on May 25th, 2023. Click on Join a Meeting and enter the meeting ID number 845-6832-0907, passcode 942494, or use the link http://zoom.us/i/845-683-20907. You may also join by calling conference line at 1-646-558-8656 at 4 p.m. on May 25th, 2023, and enter meeting ID 845-683-20907, passcode 942494, followed by the pound sign. The board chair will instruct participants on the appropriate time and manner for public comment during this meeting. If we can all rise for a pledge of allegiance. Remove your hats if you can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just so we have two members on Zoom. and 2 members here. We do have a forum. We need a roll call.
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Here.
Commissioner Roberts,
Here.
and Mr. Chairman.
Here. Item 2, approval of the minutes of the special meeting of April 24th, 2023. Item A in the packet.
I have had the opportunity to review the minutes. I have found them to be in order and would recommend that they be approved as written.
We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Carol Roberts. Motion is to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 24th, 2023 as written. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried unanimous. Item 3, hearing of visitors. Any member of the public is invited to speak before the board. Visitors wishing to be heard must sign in with name, address, and a contact number before the start of each meeting. Each visitor will be allowed 3 minutes to speak on each subject. The board will take any issues under advisement and respond at a later date. Total time for the hearing of visitors will be limited to 15 minutes, which will be strictly enforced. There will be no passing your 3 minutes to another. All visitors can be heard on agenda items only. Are there any hearing of visitors?
Don't see anybody in the room. We do have two guests. I don't know if they want to speak at all.
Are there any hearing of visitors? Hearing none. Item 4, correspondence. Mr. Tebow?
There are no correspondence, Mr. Chairman. It was not in my packet. I apologize. Is that from the last time?
What are you looking for?
Yeah, no, that is an error. That was from the last meeting regarding the ability of people to speak their mind at a meeting. Yeah, it is, you're absolutely right, it's on some of the agenda items. Okay,
Oh, okay,
so there is no correspondence.
Yeah.
My apologies.
All right, so no items on,
there's no correspondence.
number 4, or number 5.
Okay.
Approval of the bills of the regular meeting of May 25th, 2023, exhibit B in your packet. Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. I've reviewed the bills, with, Mr. Tebow, and everything was in order. There was a couple of questions, they were resolved. And I make a motion to accept the bills for May 25th, 2023.
So move.
second,
Ready, feature. Janet. A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettiford. Motion is to approve the bills for the regular meeting of May 25th, 2023 as presented. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
I did.
Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettiford,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just make comment, we did review the bills. And Commissioner Roberts actually asked she asked several questions, but she asked 3 questions about new bills that we've never had. It just shows an ability to go through. She's been doing this for a couple of years and see the differences. One of the things I do want the board to know that we are now assisting in certain programs, people who have vouchers with security deposits, which is one of the big hurdles that people have had finding an apartment with a voucher. And again, she asked a question about our very first ever security deposit.
Can you say this, Carol?
that's what you do when you do finance.
you're good.
Item 6. Appointment of maintenance mechanic aide, exhibit C in the packet. Mr. Tebow?
If I could have Mr. Close speak on this, please.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Oh, don't move that. That's not very stable. Thank you.
I was pushing the button. It needs wheels. We've been filling maintenance positions for quite a while now. Every time we think we're getting close to getting ahead, somebody retires, somebody else resigns. And so we've been looking for maintenance employees for a while. And we re-advertised on Indeed in February for this, and in March. And in May, we set up interviews for some candidates. Sometimes the candidates don't show up. We had 4 scheduled one day and we had nobody show.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
Nobody. So then we scheduled more interviews. We had 3 interviews and we brought all 3 back for a second interview and a skills test and a written test. And after that, the committee of Mr. Christopher and myself were convinced that Richard Serrata II of Quincy would be a great fit. He did very well in his interview. He's a graduate of Southeastern Regional. He did great, got a very high score on his written test and passed all his hands-on tests, which included plumbing, which was his concentration at Southeastern Regional. Passed the electrical test and the wall patch test, things that the maintenance people have to do on a daily basis. We have lots of people who come in to their interview and say, I can do this, I can do that, boy, I'm the best ever. And we put them to the test and not so much. So it's been a great addition. Mr. Hines started it back when he was here, and it's been a great addition for us. So we're very excited to have Mr. Serrato join our team. His grandfather lives at the Campbell High Rise, works in the Dawn Baby Center, in the food program, part-time is one of our presidents. Does a great job, very involved in the building. Mr. Serrato indicated during his interview, he remembers the young person going to the Campbell High Rise, helping his grandfather, helping deliver the meals. He's very invested in our community.
Do a motion in a second. Get to it.
I think that the people will probably have something to say.
Well, after Mr. Pluff and Christopher do their review, I talked to the people about their character. And Mr. Serrato has a special perspective in that his family has lived at the Campbell High Rise. He has assisted them. He understands that not only do we repair things, but we go into people's houses, we go into their homes, and that's a special privilege that we're afforded. And I think he is will be a great addition. He's a young man. He has a lot of years in front of him. As I said to him during the interview, people who have gone before him, they've bought houses, they've sent their kids to school, they've retired. You're not thinking about retirement yet. And by the way, not everybody doesn't want to work. Mr. Serrato does, and I think he will be much better off for that attitude in the long run. But again, I think he'll be an addition, a great addition. He's willing to learn. He's got a lot of energy, and he has great perspective. That's good to hear.
We need a motion in a second. Item 6.
I make a motion to accept Mr. Serrato.
And a second.
Second,
Second.
give it to Ernie.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat. Motion is to appoint Richard Serrato of Quincy, Mass. To the position of maintenance mechanic aide, effective June 12, 2023, at the 2022 step 1 rate of $30.90 per hour. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Well, perfect attendance in high school. That's pretty phenomenal.
I like to prove that.
Yeah. And you're a plumber also, which is certainly, I know that won't be your job, but I'm sure it'll help.
Yes,
It will.
Leaks are our #1 issue.
so I've been told.
Mhm.
Any other questions or discussion?
Is he there now?
Yes.
Why don't you come around here?
Come over here and stand right next to me.
Yeah, we got to get a good look at him.
Hello, guys.
That's him.
Good.
Can you see him, Ernie?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Are you satisfied, Ernie?
I'm satisfied. That's the character.
He looks pretty strong to me.
Not weak.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It takes us as grandfather.
Sorry,
You know your grandfather.
Simon?
Ah,
Yeah.
You know your grandfather real well.
Oh, Simon's your grandfather?
Yeah.
Down there?
Yeah.
So they call, his real name is Renee, which I just found out.
Yeah, his real name is Renee, and his son also lives there, Renee Jr., but they all call him JR.
And they both volunteer at the Dawn Davies Center. I think that we hired Simon. He volunteered for years before we
Yeah, he
hired.
won Resident of the Year one year.
Yes, he did.
And
yes, he did.
Good.
Did. I remember that.
yeah, he's always doing stuff for the people at the building, so it's kind of instilled that mentality in myself. Been going
Yeah.
since I was 6.
So you have good genes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You know that whole building's gonna be done over.
Yeah, I saw the plan for it. It looks beautiful.
Take a look, we're walking out right there. That part.
yeah,
I'll grab it.
just the- you can't carry it.
Kept the diagram.
That one, you can't take that one off.
Look at the size of it.
That's
can't
just,
take that
that's
one.
just the feasibility study.
Yeah,
After that, we have other studies.
I like that so much
going
better.
down.
because The parking lots now for that building are really awkward. You have to, I tell people it's Main Street, but then you have to go to Plain Street to get to the B building, and it's really confusing. My uncle used to
Learning.
bring pizza.
Part of the plan is to have different addresses on the different buildings.
yeah,
We haven't taken a vote. I just want to make sure we.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions or discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried unanimous.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Look forward to working with you.
You as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Before you leave,
Yeah.
Yes.
Give you-
let me, I say this to
Thank you,
all new
Travis.
employees, all promotions.
Mhm.
We consider our residents as number one.
Yes.
We always put them first, and we realize that anybody can have a bad day, but they don't scream. Turn your head and walk away. and go. What we always say is, we don't have the tenants. We don't need you,
Yeah.
they don't need me. I'll be gone.
Yeah,
They're our first, and we have to keep them happy.
will do.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
welcome, Richard.
Thank you, Ms. Trask.
thank
Thank you, Mr. Pettiford.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could take Richard over to HR.
Hey, take them out.
Yeah, take care.
Item 7, approval of change order number 3. Furnace replacement, Hillside Village, project 24-1, exhibit D in your packet. Mr. Tebow.
If I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. A no cost time extension of 111 days, calendar days, due to supply chain issues in furnace. To the furnaces, roofing, and associated materials attributed to the ongoing COVID pandemic. In addition to it was 10 additional residential furnaces that were previously approved in change order number 1, without any additional days. We would recommend accepting change order number 3 as a no-cost change order of 111 calendar day time extension for Marugio Plumbing Incorporated, P.O. Box 5225, New Bedford, Massachusetts, at the Hillside Village furnace replacement project.
We need a motion and a second, item 7.
So moved.
So, second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Pratt. Motion is to accept change order number 3, a no-cost 111 calendar day time extension for Ruggiero Brothers Plumbing Incorporated, of P.O. Box 50225, New Bedford, Mass. At the 24-1 Hillside Village Furnace Replacement Project. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes,
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 8. Approval of certificate of completion consolidated and a certificate of release. Furnace replacement Hillside Village, project 24-1, exhibit E in your packet. Mr. Tebow.
If I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this also.
Table, capital improvements has Team Ruggiero Plumbing of P.O. Box 50225, in Bedford, Mass. Completed as of April 21st, 2023. For the 24-1 Hillside Village Furnace Replacement Project as per the specification. Capital improvement has also confirmed that the construction work meets the applicable code and that Ruggiero Plumbing Incorporated has addressed all punch list items. We would recommend approval of the certificate of completion consolidated and the certificate of release as of April 21st, 2023. From Arugio Plumbing Incorporated, PO Box 50225, New Bedford, Mass. For the project for the 24-1 Hillside Village Furnace Replacement Project.
We need a motion and a second, item 8.
So move.
second,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat, seconded by Commissioner Janet Pratt. Motion is to approve the certificate of completion consolidated and the certificate of release as of April 21st, 2023 from Arugio Brothers Plumbing Incorporated at P.O. Box 50225, New Bedford, Mass. For the 24-1 Hillside Village Furnace Replacement Project. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 9, approval of change order number 1, surveillance systems upgrade, Hillside Village, project 24-1, and Roosevelt Heights, project 24-9, exhibit F in your packet. Tebow?
If I could ask Mr. Barry to speak also.
At the beginning of the camera installation at Hillside Village, it was determined that the northeast corner of the development was not being monitored sufficiently. It would need additional coverage. The authority requested a change order proposal from American Alarm for the relocation of 2 camera poles and the associated trenching to accommodate the additional monitoring in this area. American Alarm and Communication provided a no-cost change order proposal for the relocation of the 2 camera poles and associated trenching. The understanding that American Alarm could utilize the existing conduit at 2 existing pole locations after determining that the conduit would be in good condition. Capital improvements and the architect have reviewed the change order proposal number 1 in the amount of $0. And the use of existing conduit at 2 existing pole locations find to be fair and reasonable. We would recommend acceptance of the change order number 1, the amount of $0 from American Alarm Communication of 297 Broadway, Arlington, Mass. For the 24-1 Hillside Village and 24-9 Roosevelt Heights surveillance system upgrade.
Need a motion and a second, item 9.
so moved,
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat. Motion is to approve change order number 1 in the amount of 0 to the contract with American Alarm and Communications of Arlington, Mass. For the surveillance system upgrade at Hillside Village, project 24-1, and Roosevelt Heights, project 24-9. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried, unanimous. Item 10, approval of certificate of completion consolidated and certificate of release surveillance systems upgrade, Hillside Village, project 24-1, and Roosevelt Heights, project 24-9. Exhibit G in your packet. Mr. Tebow?
Before I turn this over to Mr. Barry, I just want to note that the last 2 change orders were for $0. Mr. Barry always negotiates strongly with the contractors, and he always seems to be able to find something that they did not do under the contract to be able to trade for something that we want done. So he's very good at what he does. That doesn't mean at times we don't pay more, we should pay more, but he does a great job on it. So I would like to, Mr. Barry, speak on the closeout.
Thank you. Capital improvements is deemed American Alarm and Communication of 297 Broadway, Arlington, Mass. Complete as of May 5th, 2023 for the 24-1 Hillside Village and 24-9 Roosevelt Heights surveillance systems upgrade project as per the specification. confirm that the construction work meets all applicable codes and that American Alarm had no punch list items. We would recommend to approve the certificate of completion consolidated and the certificate of release as of May 5th, 2023 from American Alarm Communication of 297 Broadway, Arlington, Mass. For the 24-1 Hillside Village and 24-9 Roosevelt Heights Surveillance System Upgrade Project.
Need a motion and a second, item 10,
So move.
and a second,
Second. Second.
Carol jumped in on the motion.
Oh, okay.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to approve the certificate of completion consolidated and the certificate of release effective May 5, 2023 to the contract for American Alarm and Communications of Arlington, Mass. For the surveillance system upgrade at Hillside Village, project 24-1, and Roosevelt Heights, project 24-9. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried, unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks for saving us money, Chris.
Nice
Mike,
job,
comes out of my pocket too, so.
nice job.
Yeah.
It's unusual that we have a zero amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I ever.
He let- no, he sometimes gets negative ones too, where they're paying us back.
Item 11, award of contract, shredding services. Exhibit 8 in your packet.
I could ask Mr. Padula to speak on this, please.
Good afternoon.
This is a contract request for the shredding of confidential papers, second edition. This is the second time that we went out to bid on this one here. The first time, unfortunately, we received no bids. Second time that we sent out the bid, we advertised again between April 13 and April 21st in combines. The State Goods and Services Bulletin, the local enterprise newspaper. This was also advertised by a posting here in the main building. And it was posted in the VH website as well. We received 2 bids. Prior to that, on May 2nd, we had a conference, a pre-bid conference. It was not attended by anyone. However, two of the companies that showed some interest along the way did bid. The low responsive or responsible bidder was Ready Shred of New England. They're located in Wilbraham, Massachusetts. That is just outside Springfield, before you hit Springfield. All the references were checked, and there were no references that came back negative. As you can see in the attached spreadsheet, Ready Shred is by far the lowest cumulative bidder for $530 for all the services, for all the locations, and the frequency of the house. Bay State Shredding, which is a local company, unfortunately, did not do well. They were a little bit more expensive. Therefore, I recommend a motion to award the contract for shredding of confidential papers, second edition, for a period of 3 years to Ready Shred of New England for the base unit price shown in the attached spreadsheet.
We need a motion and a second. Item 11,
Or move.
second,
a motion has been made by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat, seconded by Commissioner Carol Roberts. Motion is to award the contract for shredding of confidential papers, second edition, for a period of 3 years to Ready Shred of New England Incorporated, Project, for the base unit price showing in the attached sheet. I just wanted to add that the base unit price is $530, and it is the low bid. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes,
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 12. Award of contract, on-call cleaning services, exhibit I in your packet. Tebow?
If I could just mention, before I turn it over to Mr. Padula, that, it's very similar to Mr. Barry. Mr. Padula, not only procures, but he oversees the contract to make sure that all terms of the contract are being met. And he's done a very good job at that. The last contract shredding, our last contractor was very not compliant with the contractor. He's still battling with that a bit. He's a tough negotiator, but he understands that we need to get business done also. So he's been a great addition. He's actually part of the finance department to make sure that when we are spending money, we're doing it in accordance with the regulations that comes along with us. Mr. Padula, please.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. This award request is for the drain cleaning on-call services. We did April 13 and April 21st. We advertised for the draining cleaning companies in Combis, the State Goods and Services Bulletin, the local enterprise newspaper. Also, we posted the opportunity in the main building bulletin downstairs and the website, the BHA's website. We also invited through email invitations, 35 companies, and we held a pre-bid conference on May 22nd. Nobody attended that pre-bid conference, but that is not an unusual occurrence. We did receive 2 bids on an attached spreadsheet. One is John Sewer and the other one is Rapid Flow. The low bidder was the low responsive and responsible bidder was Rapid Flow of Revere. You want to call it my semi local company. They have trucks all over the place. It seems that they're a very strong and very large regional company like this service. We checked the references and everything came, nothing came negative. Therefore, we recommend that that an award be made to draining and cleaning on call for a period of 3 years to Rapid Flow for the unit prices that you see in the attached.
One question, Mr. Padula.
So,
I see Delta is the lowest bid. Is that
no,
Rapid Flow, the delta is the difference.
it's the differences.
The 2 prices.
I read it the same way, Mr.
Oh, I
Chairman, the
thought it was
first time.
another company.
The
It's the
difference.
differences.
I said, who's the Delta company myself?
Yeah, I like to know what their prices are excellent.
Yes, they are, real good.
The elevator.
Yeah.
We need a motion and a second, item 12.
So move.
And
second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to award a 3-year contract for on-call draining cleaning services, to Rapid Flow Incorporated, for the unit prices on the bid sheet as presented. I just wanted to add that it is the low bid. The bid price is $3,800.
Right.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so we have 2 tough guys.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to
Padula.
soften up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We might have three. This guy looks mean.
Oh,
Approval of amendment to the Brockton Housing Authority admissions and continued occupancy policy, ACOP, exhibit J in your packet. People?
Before I turn it over to Mr. Sheedy, I just want to note that this Housing Opportunities Through Modernization Act, hot fund, you're going to hear quite a bit about hot fund. Mr. Sheedy has been working on it with Ms. Rose to update all our administrative policies. There's substantial changes to the rules in federal public housing. But you will hear hot fund. So I just want to make sure that that's something that perks up. Commissioner Roberts, I'm sure you'll be hearing in some of your resident meetings.
Yeah.
Because it is, again, a significant change to how we administer federal programs. And this is one that has to go on the books sooner than later. Mr. Chief.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow, members of the board. My head's been around for a while, too, though it's just starting to come about. Only 26.
Yeah.
When it all started, but the amendment to our APOP policy in this regard for households that are over income will bring us in compliance with for the time being. So what it will do, it'll give households 2 years to, if they're over income, they'll be notified for 2 years, and then they'll be given the opportunity whether they want to pay a fair market rent or to terminate the tenancy. It's not quite that simple as you can see, but to be over income, it's a lot for a one person household. You take the low income and you multiply it by 2.4, currently that would be $93,840. So we're not going to have a lot of people that are affected by this addition to the policy, but it is required, it needs to be done. So I make a motion that the board move to the Brockton Housing Admissions and Continued Occupancy Policy is amended by adding subsection D at the end of section 13, terminations as attached.
We need a motion in a second, item 13.
So move.
And
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettiford. Motion is to amend the Brockton Housing Authority admissions and continued occupancy policy, ACOP, by adding subsection D at the end of section 13, termination as presented. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
so it won't hurt many people, correct?
Well,
It won't hurt many people?
it won't hurt anybody. In fact, the way we set this policy up is if a person chooses to stay, they can. And the reason that we've opted for that is
Yeah.
we feel that they would be a model family. So
I
think about
see.
it, they would be a successful family. But right now it would affect nobody.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
$3,000.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. People.
Commissioner Pettiford,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Motion carried, unanimous.
Thank you.
And I did not save you any money.
that's it for you.
I told you he's mean. Item 14, approval of the fiscal year 2023 state and federal operating budget revision. Exhibit K in your packet.
Oh, yeah.
So this revision is due to the fact that at the beginning of the year, we're required to adopt a budget. We can't just carry over last year's budget while we negotiate with our unions and personnel on salaries. So we adopted a budget at the beginning of the year, knowing that we were going to have to do this. We did carry a line item below the salaries to pay for any potential salary increases. So the bottom line on our budgets has not changed. What has changed is the increase in the administrative and the maintenance salaries as approved by the board at the at the March meeting. There are 9 budgets, because once you change one budget, they all change. And it allocates out across all of them. So, as we go through this, and I'll answer any questions, you would have all the documents in front of you. This is the same packet that was given to you from the original budget, with the salaries changed to reflect the increase that you approved in March. I'll answer any questions.
We need a motion and a second, just so you know that there's 9 items that have a motion and a second in this.
Yep.
Item 14.
So the first one would be the resolution for the fiscal year 2023 federal operating budget. Revision 1.
So move.
Second,
If you, hang on one second, I'll read it off, Tom.
Sure, please, yes.
Motion is to approve resolution number 23-5, resolution approving fiscal year 2023 federal operating budget revision 1, project Mass 024-001-14-Z asset management project, AMP, as presented. Any questions or discussion on that motion? I'm gonna need somebody to make the motion in a second.
So moved.
second it,
The motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 2, recommended action is the motion to approve resolution number 23-06. Resolution approving fiscal year 2023 federal operating budget. Revision 1, Mass 024-002-14-C asset management project, AMP 2, as presented. Any questions or discussion on the motion? We need a motion, I should say.
So move.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 3. Motion to approve resolution number 23-07, resolution approving fiscal year 2023 operating budget, revision 1, section 8 housing choice voucher program as presented. We need a motion and a second on item 3.
So move.
second it,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carried. Unanimous. Item 4, motion that the proposed operating budget revision 1 for the state aided housing for Brockton Housing Authority's program number 400-C for fiscal year ending 12/31/2023, showing total revenue of $1,547,800 and total expenses of $2,855,926, thereby requesting a subsidy of $1.427241 million. And further, that the executive director's total annual salary of $214,822 for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023 be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval. We need a motion and a second, item 4.
So move.
Second,
Second.
I beat you, Janet.
Oh, you're a quick one.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask.
Oh.
Any questions or discussion on that motion?
If I could just point out one thing, and this is important for everybody to know, if you notice that the total revenue, that's the
Yeah.
rent, that's what the residents pay, 1.547.
Yeah.
And what the state pays is less than it. Most people think that this runs solely on subsidy. The majority of the money that the housing authority gets to run its public housing is from the residents' rent.
That's good to say.
But
Yeah.
it's good to know that people contribute what they can, 30% of their adjusted gross income, and it's the majority.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions or discussion? Bernie, you got your hand up over there?
I think he just. said-
No.
No,
No.
I'm just leaning back in the chair from hurting.
No, your hand is up on the screen.
It's been up there. It's-
No,
That's a,
That's
oh,
on,
that's
that's
your
on.
mouse? Okay,
that's a light I have on.
okay.
Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 5. Motion that the proposed operating budget revision number 1 for the state aided housing for the Brockton Housing Authority Program number 689-1 for fiscal year ending 12/31/2023, showing total revenue of $51,637 and total expenses of $62,637, thereby requesting a subsidy of 0, and further that the executive director's total amount salary of $214,822 for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023 be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 6. Motion that the proposed operating budget revision number 1 for the state aided housing of the Brockton Housing Authorities Program number 689-2 for fiscal year ending 12/31/2023, showing total revenue of $31,100 and total expenses of $37,100, thereby requesting a subsidy of 0, and further that the executive director's total amount salary of $214,822 for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023 be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
You need a motion and a second on that?
We need a motion and a second, sorry.
So moved.
second.
second,
Ernie got it.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat. Any questions or discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes, motion carries unanimous. I forgot you were there, Susan.
Thank you.
Nice to hear your voice, Susan.
Thank you.
Item 7. Motion is that the proposed operating budget revision number 1 for state aided housing for the Brockton Housing Authority Massachusetts Rental Voucher Program for fiscal year ending 12/31/2023, showing a total revenue of $176,500 and total expenses of $225,302, thereby requesting a subsidy of zero, and further that the executive director's total amount salary of $214,822 for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, be submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development for its review and approval. Need a motion and a second on that motion?
So move.
second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 8. Motion to approve the operating budget revision number 1 for the central office cost center for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, as presented. We need a motion and a second, item 8.
so move,
second,
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Is that the last?
One more.
We have a motion to approve the operating budget revision number 1 for the Affordable Housing Program for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, as presented. We need a motion and a second on item 9.
so move,
second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Ernest Pettifat, seconded by Commissioner Carol Roberts. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. This is the last one.
you sure?
Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Thank you. Commissioner Pettifat,
yes,
Commissioner Trask,
Yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 15. Executive Director Report, Exhibit L in your packet. Mr. Tebow?
We have two of our people. I get here every morning at 7 o'clock, but Mr. Padula and Mr. Barry always beat me. They have long rides home. I don't know if you gentlemen want to excuse yourself and head out by then. I give these reports to them on a regular basis. So as you know, Mr. Williams has left. We are now using Bob Petro again with HSF Consulting in our finance department. Tanya Holland is here as the assistant at this time. She's doing a fabulous job. Although she did not work in housing, her 20 years of experience, 20 plus years of finance, working for a municipal and school district have transferred fairly well. Lots of things are familiar to her. She knows all our bankers. She's dealt with them before. So there's a lot of very common things, and she's getting better by the day on our very unique housing software. There are two letters attached to my my report. They're about master meters. And what master meters means is that at Earl Street and at Rainbow Terrace, we have 1 meter out at the street. And the Department of Public Utilities says that we own all those pipes after that, and we have to maintain them. We have to become licensed at doing that. It's an extremely difficult thing, and the liability is big. An alternative is to have the gas company install all the meters, but to do that, they have to install all the pipes too at the buildings. That's what we're exploring. I have met with the RAB on this and told them about it because this will come out of our capital money. I don't know what the number is, but it's a huge issue. And it's all over the state of Massachusetts. Massachusetts waited till the last moment to do this. I know that Madrid Square is dealing with the same thing. And those condo owners up there are being, told that they're going to have large assessments to their condominiums to do this. So I just wanted to make you aware, it won't happen until 2024. The gas company is working with places like us, apartment complexes all over the state. But they have put us in the queue. We have had a Zoom meeting with them, phone conversation, I forget what it was. Zoom, it was Zoom. And they're moving ahead with that. In my report, I've been updating you on the relationship between the housing authority and our architect on the Campello job. They have come to us and said that they thought it was a much different job, which it is, but we came to impasse. So we have found a very amicable way to split with them, where the contract will be assigned to BWA Architecture, who was a partner in this all along, and is very capable and has assured us that they have the capacity to take this on. To do this, there'll be an amendment to the contract. We would be bringing that to the board at the next meeting, hopefully the next meeting, depending on how that all works out. We're still pushing on. In fact, the next thing I'd like to do is have Mr. Fluff, and I should have warned you, Mr. Fluff, speak a little bit about his not negotiations, but his talks with Congressman Lynch's office.
We were lucky enough to be invited to a event at City Hall where Congressman Lynch was, and I started talking to him. The chairman had already talked to him at the previous event about Campello and our need for extra funds. And when I brought it up, he said, geez, I should do a visit there. And so I've been working with his staff and scheduler to try to schedule something. We'll do a little presentation on this a short presentation like we do for the residents, and then take them around so they
Won't be
can
real,
see-
John.
won't be that. See the deficiencies of the building and maybe talk to some of the residents and hear about our plans. So we're hoping that that will keep us forefront in his mind when it comes time to pushing for extra funding.
I want to just add on, I want to give Mr. Fluff a lot of credit. He has a previous relationship with the congressman, and the conversation went very well, and hopefully this will be to the benefit of the authority. Will be. The congressman's support will be, and the mayor has already said that he will work with us and with the congressman, and hopefully our senators also. I do want to remind the board, our annual meeting is the 23rd. We'll be meeting on the 22nd to get most of our business done. We're racing to get our annual report done. They were out taking pictures today. They will finish up tomorrow and maybe next Wednesday to put that all together. It will be at the Teen Challenge Center. We will begin promptly at 1. It would be nice if you could get there earlier to meet some of the guests and read some of the guests as we go along. Again, it's important. There will be a lot of people there. We are honoring Mr. Monterano, and a lot of his family and friends and board members from the Y will be there also. And just one other thing, just on Mr. Barry's program, and actually Mr. DeChristopher's, we are still experiencing lots of supply chain delays. So when you might see more of these change orders for time. Just a very simple thing. We had a broken window down at 1090 Main Street, the surgery building, a Dwyer glass, repaired it. It's repaired now. It took about 2 months. That usually been called that morning, it would have been done that afternoon. So we are still experiencing that. It's a bit frustrating. We do share it with our residents, so they understand how we're moving along, and why is this job just sitting there now for a month when we're waiting for a time.
After towers may be almost a year for the community center.
Wow.
So it is again still, and if you go by the parking lots and the car deals, you still see the big hollow spots in the middle.
Yes.
We haven't recovered yet. And that's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Can I ask a question? Is BWA Architecture Company willing to take 6 million?
No, there will be more. What we, the problem, we did not disagree with the last architectural firm that the job was much bigger than we began.
Yeah.
What we disagreed with was that they were asking us to pay for things that they should have done up front, and they were calling extra. And when we
I
said we came in with a budget that was much too high, we gave you a budget of $177 million, and you came in with a $231 million project. The contract said you have to redesign to get to the 177. And at that time said, well, we'll do that, but it's going to cost you money. That was part of the original contract. And so it became an issue of, I think they were struggling to keep up. They had some staffing issues. Their principal had left. So we thought it was best to have an amicable parting at this time, especially knowing that BWA has been working on this job, by the way, since 2019.
Yeah.
So they know the buildings inside and out. Steve Baker, who is the principal there, has been at all of our meetings. He's crawled through every place you could crawl through in the building, so he knows the place very well. So I think it is in best interest of Dietz, the housing authority, and the residents.
Good, good. Where are they located? BWA.
BWA, they're in Boston, aren't they? What's that? Boston. Yeah, this is not unusual in big jobs where, you know, there's some movement in architects. We actually, the 689-2 program, the DeVega House, we had 3 architects on that.
Wow.
And the one who finished it was the one who started it. Had the job, lost the job, got it back.
Thank you.
With the old architect, do they do that?
Yes,
Are we gonna have to pay them money?
No. that's
I
done.
mean, not that, but something else.
No, we've negotiated what and we haven't signed everything, we haven't brought it to you, but we believe we've come to a very fair number of the amount that we owe them for what they were contracted to do. They started out with a huge number, huge. And it's, again, Mr. Bear, he negotiated with them, it's a much smaller number.
The tough guy. So the saga continues.
It is, and I want the board to, so when I first started this, Michael Johnston, who I think some of you might have met, he's the executive director for the Cambridge Housing Authority.
Yeah.
He's from Brockton, Cambo Street. He said, get ready, get some Pepto-Bismol and some Tums. He goes, it's gonna be a roller coaster ride, but in the end, it'll be worth it. And I believe that, because we do not have an option on Campello. Campello B building is in the flood zone. We can't put federal money in there. We cannot rehabilitate that building there. We don't have an option. Happy Towers, we're going through and rehabilitating it. We're doing all the apartments over. Sullivan Towers, Manning Towers, we're doing that. Bel Air will do that. We can't do that at Campello. So we're moving ahead. We'll get this done. I might be 100 years old and all bruised up, but
Thank you.
We need a motion in a second. Is it just to put that report on file?
So move.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. The motion is to accept the executive director's report for May 25, 2023, and put on file. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Yeah.
Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yeah, yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Item 16, old business. Any old business? Hearing none. Item 17, new business. Any new business? Hearing none. Item 18, Need a motion and a second to adjourn. From anybody,
So moved.
Second,
a motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Carol Robbins. Motion is to adjourn. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Pettifat,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.